Should we start with some of the arrests? So you guys confirmed what David Wilcox said the other week. I put that video out, and he said that these tribunals are going on in Gitmo. So you said you had another source.
Well, we have a couple sources, and it was right around Christmas or right before Christmas.
It started like a few days before Christmas, this whole takedown.
Yeah, and we were getting updates from different people, admirals. I mean, there's a variety of channels that we have. And so a lot of what you're hearing now through the different blogs or Wilcock or whoever is stuff that we were hearing back then, that it was beginning.
Yeah, it's been an active operation since probably right around the solstice. And we've heard reports of them bringing people in, and they told us about ships that were stationed on each side of the country on the coast, rounding people up. And
when you say ships, were we talking spaceships? Or are we talking?
No, these are barges.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And I think
the Galactic said that they were involved too. They were shutting off escape routes, like underground tunnels and stuff like that.
And that's probably what all those booms we're hearing, I would assume.
Yeah, the booms, this has been going on for like the last couple of years. So when all that stuff started with Atlantis and it rising up again in Antarctica and them discovering everything that was going on down there, there's also a lot of tunnel systems in Central and South America that lead down there. And so a lot of those earthquakes, a lot of those explosions that we've been hearing, those have been them shutting down the tunnels to Antarctica so that they can't escape to down there. And then it's been even more active recently, just shutting them all off, because there are some entrances here in North America as well. I've been shown a few of them where you can go in and where they lead to. Like there's an entrance off of the coast of California, like between Catalina and the continent, that's underwater, and that one takes you all the way across the United States. It'll pop you out over in DC, and from there you can get to Egypt.
Oh, geez. So is this like they got trains down there?
There are trains down there. There are like high-speed trains, but it's like a form of teleportation. It's not just a train. Like,
no, they've got more than one way to do it.
Yeah, these train cars, I've been in one of them. They're kind of small. They look like subway cars for like 4 people. And they're kind of like those things from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They can go up or down or any direction, and you can't really tell where it is that you're going because it's such a like fast pace. So it's possible that you could pop out kind of anywhere, even off planet.
Yeah, I was going to say these must be pretty fast. Like if you were going from coast to coast, how long do you think it would take?
I'm not sure. I've heard a couple minutes. Like you can get across in a couple minutes. I went in one of these shuttles from like the Bay Area up to Shasta, and it only took a couple of minutes.
Wow.
To get. Yeah.
So, okay, so we got these tribunals going on. So are these supposed to be broadcast to the public? They're being filmed, is that right?
That's what we heard.
That's what we hear, is that they're being filmed. What the Galactics have told us is that they're kind of on the fence on what the public really needs to know, how much disclosure needs to happen, and when that needs to happen. Because right now what we have is a situation where more like half of our population is so brainwashed that if they were to hear what's happening, they would probably, it could start a civil war.
Riot.
Yeah. And so
Pillage.
And so this kind of has to happen in a strategic way in order to maintain the peace. And they've told us that there are military stationed around the U.S. even just during heightened periods of security, like, you know, when things are going on, they want to make sure that we don't have these outbursts happen and that we don't have people getting hurt. So
let's talk a minute about some of the tangible things that people have seen. So around Christmas, the Twitter feeds of some of these people stopped. They were not doing their normal Merry Christmas, and some of the Merry Christmases that we're seeing were like old from years before, pictures like someone was just trying to make it look like they were busy.
Yeah, and some of these went down after the Bush funeral, so Bush Senior funeral. So they've been.
Another tangible would be how the emergency broadcast, from the president going out to everybody's phone. I mean, we haven't seen any of those lately, but that was all part of, readiness in case they needed to say, something to everyone. And I heard they were also trying to get more control of the media so that they could have better communication. Obviously, there's been talk about martial law, whether that would be necessary. And we've heard through, different grapevines that that's something that's also considered and viable and, available as needed.
Yeah, as well as all the activity that's been going down down in Guantanamo. So there's been a lot of stuff going on down there. There have been troops that have put into active duty and brought down there. So clearly there's something going on. Stuff is leaking out. And I think it's just because this is so big. And energetically, everybody, I think, has been feeling it. So, there's been just so much going on, like with all the planetary alignments, with the eclipses, and the kind of benchmarks that we're hitting energetically.
Solar waves.
As well as the solar waves that are hitting us. So a lot of people have been coming to me just kind of out of sorts. They feel discombobulated. They feel off. And it's because of all this stuff that's happening. So we can we share a collective consciousness and we can feel it.
Yeah, definitely there with you. So there is a website, I'm going to mention this because our viewers threw it in the comments on one of the old videos. Vine News Network, I guess they're going and watching these tribunals in Washington, D.C., and now they're reporting on them. So this is something like they're going to do, let the alternative media report on this and not the mainstream. And this first one here going on is the United States versus Khalid Sheikh Mohammed for the 9/11 thing. But I myself, I do want to see some bigger fruit be taken down, like George Bush up there, Obama. But this is, I guess, the start. So,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out.
I don't know if you guys knew about that one or not, or maybe there's some other news sources reporting on it too, but this was the only one that I know of. I will put this in the description for you folks.